What is up, everybody? We are back with another one take video. In this video, the topic of today is I want to be famous. Why? Why do I want to be famous? Do you want to be famous? Well, I do. And I'm okay with saying that. Some people think that it's weird. Some people think that it's not okay. Some people want to frown upon people wanting to be famous, but I do not. And I'm going to talk about a few of the reasons why that is, because I don't think it's something that you should be ashamed of. And I think if you can think of it from the perspective that I'm about to offer, you may actually change your mind. So the first thing that I want to bring up is that I think we need to address the main thing that people might be thinking subconsciously when it comes to fame. And one of the main things within human nature, which is that we all want status. We all want status. Status is a very powerful human motivator. It's not only a human motivator, it's a deep desire for a lot of people. Now, you may say you don't want status. You may say that you don't want fame, but most of the time, we actually do deep down, if you think about it, right? You want to be loved. You want to be liked. You want other people to know who you are. You want to feel important, right? Because if we really think about if we are viewed as more important, if we're viewed as someone that has status or value, etc., we're more likely to be accepted by the group, accepted by society, accepted by our community, right? We used to live in supposedly, I'm not a historian, but from the research that I've done, we used to live in small communities, right? Of 50 to 100 people. And a lot of this social behavior that's like deeply ingrained into humans came from that time. And so we actually really want to have status, and we want to be liked by other people, and we want other people to think that we are cool or nice or benevolent or whatever, because then we wouldn't be exiled from the community, right? And I think that's important. So anyways, that's one thing. And I think more people feel that way than are willing to admit. I certainly feel that way. I think a lot of people feel that way, but I'm just willing to admit it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, another reason is to have an impact on something that is outside of myself. I think a lot of the things that I do in my life, a lot of the things that a lot of humans do are more or less self-serving. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's also very natural within humans to think about us first and to make sure that, hey, we're good, and then we can kind of help others. I think by having fame or status or an audience, it actually allows us to help tons of other people, whether it's through inspiration, whether it's through entertainment, helping people get through a rough day, a hard time, helping people pass the time, or to educate, right? Teaching people something that maybe they didn't already know. And so as much as I think a lot of the drivers in my life are more or less self-serving, I also do realize that there may be a time in my life, or there probably will be a lot more fulfillment in my life that comes from actually like giving back and helping other people, right? You hear it from entrepreneurs, you hear it from influencers, you hear it from people that are obviously involved in like things like nonprofit and charities, etc. And so it just makes me realize and come to the conclusion, hey, helping other people is the move. Like, that is what life is about. That is how you reach fulfillment. That is how you reach, higher levels of happiness. That's also how you make a lot of money, is you help a lot of people. So by doing that, think about the impact that you're able to make. Think about a professional actor who's famous, like Matthew McConaughey. Think about the amount of inspiration that he's able to provide to people by living his life and having an audience and being famous. Think about also like if he decided that he wanted to promote something for, let's just say like mental health, or maybe it was like cancer research or something like that, because of the fame, because of the notoriety, because of the audience and his influence over people, he would be able to speak about those topics and ultimately help spread awareness, which helps people who might have cancer or who might, have mental health issues in the example like that I just said. So I think it's a way to help people on a massive, massive scale. And I think you hear people talk about this all the time, or maybe they say, like, oh, I would never want to be famous. Oh, well, what about all the negative sides? Well, what about the paparazzi? What about the, lack of privacy? What about people coming up and trying to take pictures with you and whatever? And it's like, in the same breath, those type of people would talk about how much they want to help others and how fulfilling it is to help other people. And it's like, well, if you really want to help people, wouldn't that be a small price to pay to be able to help way more people? Like, wouldn't you take that trade? Like, you know what? Yes, maybe I don't want people coming up to me and trying to take a picture with me every 3 seconds or every, few minutes while I'm out eating at a restaurant. Or, oh, well, I have to deal with the paparazzi. It's like, but isn't that a small price to pay if it means that you get to educate, inspire, or entertain thousands or millions of people, and you get to provide tons of financial freedom and stability for yourself and your family by being able to monetize that fame, by being able to monetize that audience? That just seems like it makes sense, right? And then the last kind of reason I think I'll touch on, depending on if I remember another reason or not in the moment, is I think men, for the most part, we are all driven and motivated by a couple things, but one thing seems to ring true for straight men, at least, more than everything else, which is women, which is pussy. Plain and simple, pussy is a damn good motivator. And if you ask any man, well, why are you doing this? And he might say, well, because of this. And then you go, okay, well, why are you doing that? And then he goes, well, because of this. And you go, why? And you just ask like 9 levels of why. You will almost always, without fail, get to, I want to fuck more bitches, or I want to find an amazing woman who I can marry and raise a family with and spend the rest of my life together. Like, that is one of the massive motivators for straight men. Like, if you just go all the way down to the core and you go all the way down and deep into all that shit, that is what you fucking come up with. That's what it is for me. That's what it is for a lot of other guys. And so I would be sitting here and lying to your fucking face right now if I said that I didn't want fame and status for women. Supernatural. Most people won't say it. I'm here to say it. I don't care. Like, that's cool. I didn't get a ton of chicks when I was in college. College did pretty good, actually. High school, no. So there's probably something deep rooted inside of me from that experience or lack thereof in high school that makes me want to get a lot of attention from women, get more validation, get more proof, experience, whatever. And I'm very picky, and I'm very particular with the type of woman and the caliber of woman that I want to attract. And so I feel like fame, status, influence, and everything else that comes with will aid me in being able to attract the right women into my life that I ultimately want to spend time with and maybe spend the rest of my life with as well. So think about that for yourself. If you're a guy watching this video, ask yourself, just plain and honest, is that how I feel too? Was he right? Was he spot on? Let me know in the comments if I was spot on with that, because I think most men just have not reflected enough and maybe aren't comfortable enough admitting those things, but that's why I want to be famous. If anybody relates with that, drop a comment and be like, me too, bro. I'm glad somebody said it. I'm glad somebody's not embarrassed to admit that. And join the conversation down below. Like, comment, subscribe, follow along with your boy. Let's go. Cheers.